Hello, everyone. If you are tuning in live, you're probably wondering, hey, who's this girl? She doesn't look like Coach X. Well, Coach reached out to me and asked if I could step up and show up in his space today. He is a little bit under the weather, so if you are watching this live or even if you're catching the replay, send him all of the good healing vibes and energy that you can. He needs it. So, today, I am kind of doing something a little bit on the fly here, and I'm really hoping to see some people hop in and interact and engage on this one. And if not, if we don't have anybody who is able to tune in live and kind of chit chat back and forth with me, that's entirely okay. Please leave some of your feedback and some of your impressions and thoughts around what I'm talking about today in the comments, and I can always come back on and do another video addressing some of those specific aspects. So in some of my videos, if you haven't caught them, go ahead back in the replays and check out what I've been talking about. But a lot of what I have been discussing is centered around your chakras as well as healing and working with yourself within expansion of humanity for a better, broader community. And what I wanted to talk about today, hello, I see somebody hopped on. So if you're on and live with me, please say hi, interact. I would love to get some good dialogue going on live. That's always much more fun for these videos. But today, I'm talking all about conscious responsibility. And so it ties in perfectly with what I was talking about as far as your chakras and how you can show up for humanity. Because ultimately, when it comes to conscious responsibility, it's all about you and your consciousness and how you bring that and show up within the world in that space. And so when I'm talking about conscious responsibility, of course, there is a learning aspect into anything that we do, right? We don't just come into this world knowing everything about everything. We have to go through these lessons or either, becoming educated around a specific topic, whether that's watching videos or taking courses or, going to school or having that experience from a physical level, or even just somebody passing down their information, right? So when we talk about learning as a whole, there's something that's called a learning circle. And I wanted to teach everybody the learning circle because it's so important to identify where you're at within the circle so that you can move forward, because that's how we all expand rapidly within conscious responsibility. So when you have your learning circle, it starts from a really simple aspect. And I'm going to show you this. This is just a rough drawing, but I'll show you this so that you can kind of have an idea. It's a circle, right? It is completed all the way around. So from your start of your learning circle, when you're trying to learn anything new, what is something that you might have to step out of in order to learn? And if you know, put it in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. What we go through is identifying our personal comfort zones, how we feel about that subject, and then more often than not, since it's something new, we take a step out of our comfort zones. So when we're moving from that comfort zone space, we go into the learning circle by experiencing. We try something new. We do something new. We engage within that new topic or that new subject. And from that individualized experience, we're actually able to learn. We learn, we take in that information, we decide how that makes us feel, we decide how that impacts us, we decide aspects of it that we like or we don't like. And from that, in order to execute, we practice. We do. Whatever this aspect is that you're learning, it could be as simple as learning about the chakras, right? We learn that information, we take that in, and then we practice it moving forward. And as we practice, we're more apt to make mistakes because it's a new experience, right? So when we make mistakes, we're then forced to look at ourselves and see what has occurred, whether it was our mistake or whether it was a mistake that had happened by engagement with somebody else, or maybe how that information was taught to you, right? There's lots of different ways that could potentially cause this mistake. The cause isn't important. What is important is that when you make that mistake, you actually are given the opportunity to evaluate. Once you evaluate, take a step back, say, okay, this is what happened. This is what I could do differently. This is maybe something that I need help with. Maybe I need to collaborate with somebody and have an extra piece involved. Maybe it's something that I'm not meant to do alone. Maybe it's something that I am meant to do alone. Maybe working with other people made it a huge disaster. Whatever you are actually taking away from making that mistake, that's your evaluation. And then your wheel starts all over again. You're literally given the opportunity to learn once more based on your evaluation what has gone on from that individualized experience. You're able to then practice it some more. You'll make less mistakes the more you practice. That in turn will build your confidence. You then will establish competence in whatever it is that you're learning, which all feeds back to your comfort zone. And it literally grows a little bit more each time. And so I want you to think about something that you've wanted to learn. I don't care what it is. I'm excited to hear what you are wanting to learn. Put it in the comments and let me know. And let's literally run through that learning circle together and see how you've taken that process of a desire to learn, taken it out of your comfort zone to actually be able to learn it, practice, made mistakes, and evaluated along the way in order to change, grow, and improve, which ultimately impacts your conscious responsibility. So I hope that that makes sense. It was a really simple lesson, but is one of my favorite things to talk about because ultimately one of the biggest things that we can do as humans to be able to impact humanity is get out of our comfort zones and actually go and change things. It's up to us.